pretty graphic with. Oh yeah. Hey, good. Oh, no problem. You know, we might get that. We'll bring that up. Something everybody needs.
Good evening. I'll call the meeting to order of the August Health and Human Services Committee meeting. Is there anybody from the public that would wish to address the committee? Any additions, deletions, corrections to last month's minutes? Okay, seeing none, moving on to the resolutions.
Resolution number 1, amending the 2016 county budget to allocate additional state aid relative to a cost of living adjustment for community services programs.
May I have a motion? Mr. Doctor, second, Mr. Drake. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 2, authorizing agreement for provision of certain professional services to the medical examiner's office.
Motion, please. Mr. Maxson, second, Mrs. Fitzpatrick. I saw her hand. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Carries.
Resolution number 3, authorizing amended agreement for provision of certain professional services to the medical examiner's office.
May I have a motion? Mr. Maxon, Mrs. Fitzpatrick. You will notice that there is a more complete resolution at our place. So would entertain a motion to amend the resolution to reflect what is at our tables. Mr. Ferris, motion. Second. Mr. Maxon, the amended resolution. Carried? Okay.
Resolution number 4, amending the 2016 county budget in relation to public health department's account.
Motion, please. Mr. Ferris. Second. Mr. Dexter. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Carries. And alive. Roll right through that. There's some departmental reports within the packet here. Any questions on any of the reports that are within your packet? Any questions or discussions or anything to come before the committee tonight? Mrs. Fitzpatrick.
Just a note, we have a representative who will be attending next month's meeting from PROACT, our discount prescription program, and Nicole Bednar will be speaking.
Is everybody on the board familiar with the program? I know Bill had asked questions about that before.
It's free.
Okay.
We don't have to pay a cent.
So, well, that would be good to hear what kind of developments have been happening with that program. So.
Well, they've saved us millions of dollars for our taxpayers and our constituents, and I think it's a good thing to update for all the legislators who are not a part of it. Excuse me? Well, I don't care if you do, but you're sitting right next to me. Anyways, it's a great program that we started. We were had the opportunity almost, I think, 12 years ago, and I think it's time that we all get updated as to what it has done and the opportunities that it's afforded our taxpayers here that have don't have the ability or the money to pay for the drugs, prescription drugs that might be required for them, or their insurance is not paying a fair share, and it helps them out. Whether you have insurance or not, PROACT does help out. Okay, I'm done.
Thank you very much. Anything else from Mr. Dexter?
Thank you, Mr. Peck. This is really isn't committee related, but I just wanted to brief you on. I received a few calls from several members of the agricultural community last week, and their concerns were that my part of the county, the District 1 and Mr. Reed's part of the county, were not necessarily getting a lot of press as far as the drought situation, and they had concerns that we weren't receiving the designation, and you've mentioned that in your email, the highest designation for drought. So I asked for a meeting with the ag coordinator, and Jay graciously came down on Friday, as well as a member of Senator Ritchie's office, to discuss the issue. We members of the dairy community there, and it was a gathering. I'd classify it as a gathering, not necessarily a meeting, but to discuss the issue. We had members, representative from the ranching community, and kind of heard some of their issues, and Senator Ritchie's representative was there, of course, and they're just looking into possibilities of getting us that additional designation, so more monies would be available for drilling wells. And of course, it's getting very serious in many parts of the county. I don't think there's any area any browner than the northern part of the district right now, and I've traveled all over New York State. It's pretty desperate situation now. So just wanted to make committee aware of that meeting, and moving forward, there certainly isn't any easy way to get out of this. So.
Not unless we get about 10 feet of snow this winter. honestly, it doesn't hurt my feelings. You just got to move it. But compared having an open winter compared to a year like this, I will always prefer lake effect snow dump. You know, that's what ensures that things get replenished. But thank you very much for that update. And I do hope that others did see the email that I had sent out that the USDA did declare some parts of the state as severe drought conditions, which kind of, it doesn't free up any free money, not by any means, but it will free up loans to be able to allow farmers to be able to purchase feeds, to be able to feed their animals. And there was other counties, the highest, furthest north it went was Oswego County, and that was only because it bordered some of the other counties were most severe droughted. So I presume that with some more data getting collected, there should be something that would come down the pike for our county also. You know, this is, it's a USDA, it's a federal thing, so they have to do their data collection and documentation. Mr. Gray, did you have something? Does it mention anything specific as to any changes, or is it just informational? Much appreciated. We shall check it when we get home then. One thing I will update the committee on is that the DSS ad hoc committee is nearing its completion, and after probably one, maybe two more meetings, I think we should have some recommendations to be able to bring to the committee on some changes of some sort. If there's any further questions, certainly contact the members of the committee, which would be Mr. Johnson, Mr. Monticelli, myself, and Mr. Jarrow. And if you have any questions ahead of any of the release on that. So, anything further to come before the committee? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Maxson. Mr. Doctor. All in favor? Aye. Carried.
Is the Health and Human Services Committee meeting over yet? Oh. So we're having so much fun with Health and Human Services, I'm hoping that we can call to order the county's Oversight Committee on Finance and Rules. Would make me feel good, so I have something important to do. Seeing any public here, is there anyone who would like the privilege of the floor? No one's moving to the microphone, so we'll move on to the minutes. Any additions, deletions, corrections to last month's minutes? Hearing no concerns, they'll stand as presented. And I'd like to make note that the county administrator is not here. We have a special guest filling in. Thank you, Director Hudson. Pardon? Before the decorum is totally shot, can we move to the resolution?
Resolution number 1, payment of legislators' expenses.
May I have a motion, please? Legislator Johnson, Legislator Drake. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Second resolution is setting and reporting standard workday hours on the New York State and local employees retirement system for certain elected officials.
Have a motion, please. Mrs. Fitzpatrick, Mr. Drake. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Third resolution is appointing Director of Office for the Aging.
May I have a motion, please? Legislator Drake, Legislator McBride. Discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Fourth resolution is approving appointment of Deputy County Administrator.
Motion, please. Legislator Johnson, Legislator Nabalani. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed?
Resolution 5, appointing County Administrator.
Pretty tricky that he's not here. Thank you, Legislator McBride. Can I have a second? Legislator Fitzpatrick. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 6, authorizing an agreement for the provision of professional abstract for real property tax enforcement.
May I have a motion, please? Legislator Nabalani, Legislator Johnson. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Number 7, conditionally authorizing sale of real property to Antwerp American Legion, Post 916.
May I have a motion, please? Legislator McBride, Legislator Drake. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 8, authorizing the purchase of real property for the construction of a radio transmission tower to be used for the county emergency management radio system.
Motion, please. Legislator Johnson, Legislator Fitzpatrick. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Number Number 9, authorizing the cancellation of interest and penalties on certain delinquent real property taxes owed by the Mohawk, Adirondack, and Northern Railroad Corporation in the County of Jefferson.
Motion, please. Motion, please. Legislator Drake. Legislator Navalonic, thank you. Discussion on the motion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Number 10, authorizing payment in lieu of taxes agreement relative to Mohawk, Adirondack, and Northern Railroad Corporation.
May I have a motion, please? Legislator Navalonic. Legislator McBride. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? And carried.
Resolution number 11, authorizing the agreement with EvoGov, Inc. for website design.
Motion, please. Legislator Navalonic. Legislator Fitzpatrick. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Oh, excuse me, on discussion?
Just a question on the website design. Why did this come about? Were we doing some of this in-house?
No, actually, our current host and design firm that we hired 6+ years ago basically are using an outdated version, or we're now using an outdated version of their software. They were not willing to upgrade that for free, so they told us basically that we could pay to redesign it and upgrade. We had some other issues over time with the company, decided to go out and see what was out there, and actually are spending less than we would have.
Well, thanks for that update. We're seeing some pretty major changes to the website.
Cosmetically, yes, actually cosmetically and both back end. For cosmetically from the public, they have a lot of different ideas. Changes since we last did an update is in the way people surf, and one major one is it'll now be mobile friendly, which our current one is not. So yes, there will be a lot of cosmetic ones, and as well as to how
To better handle GIS, to be able to access the planning department's GIS system or interface with them.
I'm not sure. I mean, we have GIS on the site through the Real Property Department and the Mr. Borsey, the map viewer. What else were you thinking of having on there? I'm sure it's a conversation that can be had.
Whether access to, refresh my memory, whether DANK's GIS and the information that they've collected through some of their programming, some different projects, whether that
The imagery?
matches up with imagery. You have infrastructure questions which they've done over the years. Does all of that match up with what is found within our map viewer?
Michael, would you want to address that at all? Are you familiar with what DANK has collected recently that we may or may not have?
Would you be willing to come up to the... Thank you.
They have water and sewer, I believe, water and sewer district information, and also
Michael, would you mind grabbing
yes.
up to the podium, because the cameras can't capture what you're saying otherwise?
As far as I know, I don't go on the DANK site a lot on their map viewer portion, but I believe that they have water and sewer district information, and also, I can't remember the name, the internet, the fiber optic line project that they worked on is on there. I don't know if we've ever had any conversations about trying to pull, if they would let us include that information on our map viewer. That's something that we could ask, I suppose.
Much like the checkboxes where you can add a layer or not.
Right.
It's certainly something we can enter into conversations with them about.
I just put it out there, you talk about a package which is going to be able to do a lot more user-friendly interfacing, and any as much information as you can kind of retrieve via that way, and certainly GIS is very advantageous for planning usage, but also for economic development usage if they can identify things very easily. The information's out there. I guess it's just becoming a central clearinghouse for it.
If anybody has suggestions on what could make our website stronger, to if there's information that we're not providing to the public that you've heard them ask about, that save you a phone call or save the county phone call, if they can get it easily, by all means, let us know, and I'm sure there's a way we can incorporate it.
Thank you.
Legislator Maxon?
Thank you, Chairman Monticelli. I appreciate the opportunity to speak, not being a member of the committee. Do we know what other government entities EvoGov has done the website for?
Yes, there's actually, in your packet, there was a write-up that I did, which has a link to several. Well, we can get you a lot more, but...
And the other question that you would be uniquely qualified to answer, do they, what content management system do they use? Is it their own proprietary?
It is their own,
We might
Yes.
be too in the weeds for everybody else.
Yeah, it is their own proprietary one. It's based off some open source code, and actually taking that from what they told us and making it open source.
My worry would be that we sign a $30,000 agreement that we get locked into proprietary.
Well,
so next time it's going to be a $45,000.
Which is exactly what happened with our current host. And we've had that conversation, and they have had people on their system for 10, 15 years, and the most that they said an upgrade would be, most of it's free. They release monthly updates, and those are all free. If there's a major one, it may be a couple thousand to get it upgraded, and we'll have that in the contract.
Any further questions? It was convenient that we had Director Hudson here tonight, and thank you for that titillating explanation. I'm very excited.
I'm sure.
We didn't vote on that
Not yet.
motion. So, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 12, authorizing amended renewal agreement with New York State Unified Court System for provision of court security services by Jefferson County.
A motion, please.
Resolution number 1, authorizing agreements with Federal Aviation Administration, the New York State Department of Transportation, and McFarland Johnson, and amending the 26 county budget and capital plan in relation to the terminal apron reconstruction design.
Motion, please. Legislator Drake, Legislator McBride, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
General Services number 2, amending the 2016 county budget to recognize insurance recovery and transfers within the road machinery fund.
Motion, please. Legislator Nabawanek, Legislator Drake, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Number 3, amending the 2016 county budget relative to overtime reimbursement for the Sheriff's Department.
Motion, please. Legislator Fitzpatrick, Legislator Nabawanek, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Number 4, accepting donation for Sheriff's Department K-9 unit and amending the 2016 county budget in relation thereto.
Discussion, or excuse me, motion, please. Legislator McBride, Legislator Johnson, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? And opposed? Carried.
Number 5, authorizing intermunicipal agreement with the City of Watertown regarding fiscal year 2016 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Program and amending the 2016 county budget in relation thereto.
Motion, please. Legislator Nabawanek, Legislator Fitzpatrick, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. On to Health and Human Services sponsored resolutions.
Resolution number 1, amending the 2016 county budget to allocate additional state aid relative to a cost of living adjustment for community services program.
Motion, please. Legislator McBride. Legislator Johnson. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 2, amending the 2016 county budget in relation to public health department accounts.
Motion, please. Legislator Nabawanek, Legislator Fitzpatrick. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed? Carried. Well, we managed to make it. Okay. Are there any further business to come before the county? Or the committee? It's a county committee. It's okay. I can say both. Yeah.